Hey Steve, why'd you delete that video last night? Did you hear too much ringing in your head? My goodness, you probably thought I was sleeping, huh? You didn't check your surveillance when Steve and James Deshawn made this video last night. That he's like, do you hear that? It's like a ringing. It's like I hear a ringing. It's the ringing of the Song of Moses. I mean, I know there's like ringing in your ears, but do you hear the ringing of the Song of Moses? Like, oh my God, you see, you thought I was sleeping, all right, which is surprising. I guess you weren't behind it. You weren't watching me all the time, surveilling, and but then I can see where you're, because you know that. You know I'll clown you on that one. That's why you deleted the video, like, immediately. Because I commented to him saying, yes, boss, I will hear, I hear whatever you want me to hear. So he was leaning that message towards, like, the Kleckite idiots that actually believe he's, like, telling the truth. So you see how there's, like, people target certain individuals, you know, like certain subs. You can tell who Steve was leaning towards trying to convince, whatever fools actually still believe that he's telling the truth, or that he's just a poor suffered servant, that he's not part of the elite's plan of, you know, world domination. But you know what? Here's the difference. Again, between, see the roundup, the 144,000, when they turn their face back to the fort of their own land, and then they shall stumble and fall and not be found, well, it's because the plan's going to fall. The plan won't be found anymore. It's like, what are we going to do? But James over there, he's in charge of this. That's how I see it. But he's also in charge of rounding up the real criminals. Because when they turn their face against the fort of our own land, and people like Jonathan Kleck and yeah, all the other mouthpieces for the elite, they're all in on it. They are all for rounding us up and killing us. Like this is what I know. I know I joke about things a lot, and I don't take anything serious when I take what I need to take serious, and then everything that's fear, it's, you know, no. So you have this, all these elite mouthpieces that the original plan 8 years ago is to round up, find 144,000 on YouTube, Facebook, throughout the world, wherever, by surveilling them. That's why there's all these top gang stalking commandos. This is the whole reasoning behind it for these past 8 years, is to find 144,000, and then when the time comes for roundup time, which would be 8 years after we were warned about God's judgment coming on the world, May 21st, 2011, and then the end of the world, October 21st, 2011. Well, it's an 8-year period. It's a 7-year tribulation period, which 7 full years. So by the time Steve had 8 years to find out who they are, because the 5th seal opened up and the first woe happened October 21st, 2011. That's why people like End Time Watchman, Matt Yahoo, right? He always weasels his way into my comment section behind someone trying to, hey, if you really want to hear some truth, come over to my channel. Same with like Derek from Glop of Truth, like all those, you know, my disciples, all my disciples over there, they don't know it yet, but when these events start happening after there's nothing you can do about it. All you got to do is just, when they happen, you just say, all right, fine, Robin, fine, you're right, fine. It'll take a while. It will. because pride is such a bitch. When you're so stuck in your ways and there's nothing anybody can do or say to change your mind, oh well. But anyway, those people, they finally will get a dose of reality when this shit all hits the fan. All my disciples over there. And then, but the elite mouthpieces, they all, well, the reason I said it is because they're all 7 years behind. They think as soon as there's like some kind of peace deal arrangement, isn't Trump supposed to meet with someone in 2 days, the 40th day of since the last major news dominating event that happened in Texas, where it happened in Texas, and then it's like, okay, well, this is it, Jonathan Kleck. Here's your 40 days. You got 40 days of like no distractions on TV, no, because when is the last time 37 days went by without a major freaking news dominating event that dominates the damn world news? Not since, like, the beginning of the year. So Kleck was given 40 days to preach world domination news free. That way all the attention can be put on him. Here, Johnny, here's your 40 days. And when your 40 days is up on 10/10, well, then 10/10 wins. Right? Wrong, Kleck, wrong. But you have 40 days. Because as he was sitting at the table, look, these things keep happening time immemorial. I'm driving to work. I sped up his 2.5 hours. On my way to work, I listened to it and time-stamped it as I'm, doing 5 things at once. Because I have to have my hand on the steering wheel. I have to keep my eyes on the road. That's 2 things. I have to keep my foot on the brake or the pedal. That's 3 things. I have to watch the video. That's 4 things. I have to listen to it. That's 5 things. And then I have to timestamp it. That's 6. It reminds me of the 6 bowls of wrath that Jonathan Kleck had for his cat. Oh my God. So he had 6 bowls. These are all the bowls this is all the food I tried to feed my cat. Who the fuck has 6 bowls of food placed in, and the cat's dead, and so he still has the bowl sitting there. Oh man, you're so retarded, dude. So anyway, Kleck's pouring out the sixth bowl of wrath, and here comes the 7th. Because the 6th trumpet, 7th, 6th trumpet, 5th, 6th, 7th. He's everything. He's everything and all. He's all of everything. So the bowls are there, and the wrath is there, and Kleck is there, and I have a full-time job. I literally do drive to work for an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on the traffic. Like right now, it's 8:23. It'll take me a full hour and a half to get to work because I left later because I don't feel like because I gotta kind of stay up a little late because I'm trying to save the world. I mean, my bad for trying to save the world from their delusion, the strong delusion. Some people you just can't save; they have to go through it. So anyway, I have to do that, work a normal job, 8 hours, and then come home or drive back. It's literally between 10 to 11 hours a day. It's a waste of life. It's just what it is. It's just flat out, it's a waste of life. But while I'm doing that, I dissect Kleck's 2.5 hour video, because that's one of the reasons why he does that, I know, is because the false prophet hunters, they can't. I'll slip my subliminal message in somewhere around the 1 hour and 45 minute mark, at 1 hour and 44 minute mark. That way, they can't, because they can't really sit there and watch through it. Well, I mean, I know you got agents that do that for a living, but I just do it because I have to keep track of what these top mouthpieces for the elite are doing, and with a full-time job. All these other people, like all my disciples, they don't have jobs. Like, they don't have labor jobs. They have jobs. Yeah, of course, it's a job to be a troll, but they don't have like physical labor jobs. Like Lefty. Here's the thing, Lefty. This is, you're automatically disqualified for being the Messiah because you don't even have a carpentry job. You got to at least have some. You got to at least play the role, like even like Stephen James, like at least say that you were swinging a hammer at one point or something. I don't know, maybe a contractor, or builder, something along the trade line of work where you've actually done physical labor, and you're supposed to have a job at this point in time too. So Kleck's disqualified, and so's SJD. Neither one of them actually have to do work. I don't know where it's supposed to say in the scriptures that you're supposed to be not have a job. Like, you're Christ, right? You're walking the earth these days as Christ, but you don't have a job doing anything. I don't know. Maybe that's the way it is. Who knows? Maybe when he preached, he quit his job. I don't know. Maybe he probably still had his job. Who knows? I don't know my scriptures, so I can't really tell you. But what I can tell you is this. The ones that were in on it, think about it. You have one person over here, Steve, that's grounded into the underground. He's the one that was promised to rule and reign from birth at 52 years old. 52 years later. And, which reminds me of the last major news dominating event for on Kleck's side. The connection with Kleck is Texas. Odessa, Midland shooting. That was August 31st. 40 days later will be 10/10. And the time from when the prolonged bombing at 16th Street, in between 16th and 17th and Market and John F. Kennedy Boulevard in Philadelphia, Building 8, I didn't really know it was Building 8, but it was in that area, Bankers Row. From the time that event was canceled at that moment, or it was just they were trying to see if anybody can figure out where the next event would happen. So that was a foretold event. Yes, that's what they do. So from 8/19/19 till 10/10 is 52 days. So that's the connection with Steve, because he has his well drilled out front, and it's of course the place where it's from is Midland, I don't know, Missouri or something. But back to the reason why everybody else is going to get rounded up, and they're going to turn their face against the fort of us, but they're the ones that get rounded up because they're the damn criminals. Steve was part of it, and he was all for it to murder people. That's what I believe. I believe that they were all for it. I can't prove it, but definitely murdering spirits. Spirit murderers for sure. But you have 450 commandos, right? And they are all for killing. Like, they're looking forward to this event happening in Philly on Thursday, on 10/10, 10/11, Friday. Like, because a lot of events do happen on Friday. It gives you the entire weekend to go through it. We are way past due. We're like 38 days past due as of today. Kleck just so happened to be sitting with table 37 on the 37th day since that major news dominating event that I will not let go of, because it's the last one that dominated the world news. Table 37. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, no, this is a coincidence. The only thing to say is this: if it doesn't happen, it's because it was canceled, and the people that are watching behind the scenes, you guys are doing the right damn thing. How obvious is it that they plan on doing it the second 9/11 right here in Philadelphia? I don't know how much more obvious anything has ever been on YouTube whatsoever besides Steve trying to sing Rockin' Robin song. He never produced it. So 450 people are spineless, heartless, soulless creatures that could care less about humans. And they're looking forward to the event taking place, and then not only that happening, but then from that point on to basically just allow people to just kill themselves, or they're sending the energy where they want people to actually kill themselves. That is what they're saying behind the scenes. Like, oh man, it's like Kleck, like, hey Steve, I can't wait until Robin gets blown up in the Church of Philadelphia. Oh man, and then everybody's gonna start killing themselves, and oh man, everybody's gonna worship me as God. And then the other 449 false prophets are all in on murdering human life. All right, they're all in on it. But Steve's the only one that isn't. Right? I'm giving him the credit for being the only one that can see, because he's surveilling me the entire time. He has his people on it too, but they're blind. They cannot possibly see what he sees and what I see. They cannot see it. So, because that's the fact of the matter, and I know where Steve is where he is and where he's gonna go, because he's gonna ride off into the sunset. He's gonna hop in his ship, and pew, his ship is gonna sail off into the real sunset when he's done, because that's his job as Saul turning into Paul. The real criminals, they're the ones that get locked up. They're the ones that get rounded up because they want death. I'm telling you, this shit's all fake. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I just want the people to be held responsible. The false ass prophets, the fake ass Jesus messiahs on walking this planet Earth, that they know damn well that they're not, because they actually believe they're Lucifer. The ones that believe they are Christ in the flesh and are doing God's will, fine. In all likelihood, they are the 144. There's 144 people, at least 72 of them, that believe that they're Christ in the flesh, but they're doing God's will. So that's fine. I have no problem with somebody believing that they are if they're doing the will of God. The ones that know they're not and they're acting, you guys are criminals. You guys need to get locked up. So because Steve sees this and his heart has changed, and it makes him sick, like literally, to know that these people are feeling that way about murdering and killing people and just allowing them to and just go into the slaughter and killing all the sheep, because that's what Kleck wants to do. He wants to kill all of the sheep. When they turn their face against their own land, when they come to round us up starting October 20th, because yesterday it's been confirmed, the military is being activated for October 19th. One day before I'm expecting to see you guys, before you even said that you were coming to see us. So these things keep happening to me right at the exact same day. Like I talk about it, like today I'm talking about whatever, and then some video will pop up talking about what I've already said. Like Richie from Boston going with the military, showing and then I know the name of it is Robert T. Stafford, but I mean, come on, Richie, did you have to stress it? Robert T. Stafford? You could have stopped at Robert T. Stafford, but you went continuously Robert T. Stafford. But that's fine, because that's the emergency relief of this disaster of a scene screenery that we're going to need relief from. And it is time for the military to start protecting the civilians walking planet Earth that have authority from God. So Steve was saying last night that fathers tell me that this is the Song of Moses. I'm like, oh my God, Kleck. He's doing this late night because he's trying not to, he thought I was sleeping. He definitely deleted the video immediately, I'm sure. So, and Steve, I'm sure you feel pretty stupid doing that because you know it's you know what I mean. Like I'm showing you your sin, your lie. It's ridiculous. And then Kleck is always talking about God is talking to him. He's constantly going to him for everything. It's so annoying. And then Donald Trump now, he's in collusion with God. I mean, literally, Paul Begley's trying to push that he actually, the angelic beings are being seen going in and out of the White House, Oval Office. So everybody has God talking to them when God really isn't talking to anybody. So as I'm saying, day 37, before day 37, before yesterday came around, Kleck is going to rise up on Monday on day 37. Yeah, I'm thinking destruction's happening. I said a Home Depot shooting on the 37th when he rises back up to YouTube. But I'm telling you what happened here is I ruined his plan by playing out the role of going into the belly of the fish. You can't possibly do it, right? He was absolutely trying to pull the same damn thing Stephen James DeShawn pulled. And then rises back up and says nothing about the reason why he didn't show up, didn't make the video, didn't come out, nothing. But Kleck, he would told you 24 to 48 hours, definitely, I guarantee I will be back up. I will make the video, end world dominating, mind blowing, blow your brains out all over the 17th John F. Kennedy Boulevard, Philadelphia Street. I mean, and oh my goodness, I'm going to be back. So on the 3rd of October, when he said that, it's the same time that parachutes came from the sky, Dabu 7 telling you that parachute malfunction. The same time I'm making my video saying that Kleck is going to give this excuse about falling out of the airplane, and he's talking about it in his video about skydiving. You can't explain it. It's just you got 60 seconds, until you save your life in 60 seconds, and then there's supposed to be that thing from True News Live or True News that these groups of people are going out starting October 7th for the next 14 days, going around, basically the government needs to start telling the truth, something like that, in 60 major cities. 60. So 60 seconds, 60 major cities. It's all connected together. It's all a scam. That's just their way of getting things ramped up in all major cities. So as I'm driving, I'm saying, well, before that, I'm just telling you that the 37th day he's going to rise up and then give you this excuse as to how he was in the belly of a fish and he dropped from the sky and his parachute, the wind caused to pass by because I told him I was going to create a wind to pass by. He got scared. He didn't want to jump out. He didn't want to do it. He wasn't going to do it anyway. But he could not possibly come back now and say that he was in the belly of the fish. Couldn't do it. So what he did was he claimed that God was still giving him revelations even as of today when it was the 7th and yesterday, by the way. That's because that's the reason why he didn't get up 48 hours later. But that's the reason why he didn't really get up, is because he couldn't use the excuse as to being caught in the belly of the fish for 3 days. He told you the only sign you're going to get is that of Jonah. Because 10:10 is his 40th day. On the 40th day, when Christ was silenced the first time, and then after 3 days, he was seen for the next 40. Well, Kleck was going to do that same thing He was going to throw it in there somewhere. But then after the 40 days, Christ ascended up into heaven. And then, and I guess all hell's supposed to break loose on earth now. I'm not sure if that's how it happened back then, but either way, Kleck's 40th day since his Home Depot reference and the shooting in Texas, since that happened on August 31st. His 40th day is coming up 10/10 on Thursday, right here in Philly. Second 9/11. Stephen Ben-Danoon, Israeli News Live. I guess his video was last night. He talked about 9/11 too, because Prince, Saudi Arabia Prince, was saying something about to Trump about if you don't want to do something that's 9/11's. I don't know. It's just everybody's referencing 9/11, and I do remember saying this in a video. What's going to happen on 9/11 on 2019? Absolutely nothing, because it's a 30-day decree. It's a 30-day continuance. They think they're slick, but they're not. Their plan has been unraveled. So they plan on the second 9/11. I don't know how they can still follow through with it. When I know it's going to happen, I don't know how they can do it. But they are pushing it. 37. Kleck sitting at the table at 37. I didn't know that. I seen that yesterday. I didn't scan through everything as I'm driving to work. I'm just mainly listening for words. I wasn't really watching the video. I'm trying to watch where I'm driving. When I got home, I slowed it down with, I played it, watched him with the clips of the pictures he was showing, and as he's sitting at the table, they have the table 37 on the 37th day. And it's all about 40 days, right? 10/10's coming up. How can that not happen on Thursday? The only way it can not happen on Thursday is because Stephen James and Sean said it yesterday. Don't listen to Rob. Don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. I already told you. So anyway. But before that, you better work out your own fucking salvation, because Hawaii's going to explode. It's a lake of fire. It's going to destroy everybody. And Philadelphia got 3 in a row. We're waiting. We're weighing it out. And 1, 2, 3, confirmation on the 37th day. Jonathan Kleck, 3, 2, 1, mirrored image. Get ready, Philadelphia. Brace yourselves. Everything lines up with Thursday, 10/10 into the 11th on Friday, with the second 9/11 being here in Philadelphia. On Bank 8, because now Richie from Boston's showing the second 9/11 just 2 days ago with Building 7 coming down. Just like leading, it's almost like they're just basically saying, hey, idiots, the second 9/11 is going to happen at the Building 8 on 17th and freaking JFK Jonathan Kleck Boulevard in Philadelphia, after the Church of the Fire of Philadelphia happened at 52nd and freaking Amish Beef Lancaster Ave. Route 30. 30 days from the first 9/11. 18th year, 1830. Is anybody pushing 1830, the number? Anywhere? Gematria? Anybody seeing 1830? Is Kleck talking about it? I didn't really put... Why does it look like it's... Oh. It looked like it was a poster, and I'm just still driving it. I thought the green screen got stuck for a minute. Oh man, that was weird. Think about it. All I do is talk to myself as I'm driving. I know I'm talking to people, but at one point I used to just talk to myself. Now I know that even if the camera's not on and I'm just driving, I'm not ever talking to myself. There's always someone listening. So the real criminals are getting rounded up. Yeah, we're going to get rounded up because Here's the deal, everybody. The ones that are part of the 144. You're going to get rounded up because you're supposed to feel like they're going to kill you. They're supposed to... Steve's supposed to make it seem like they're here to kill you, which they probably were at one point, but things have changed. And they have to follow through with it. Kleck has to see that we're all rounded up. He has to see it. He just... And then it's like, it's time to throw us into the fire, into the lion's den. And then it's time to shut the lion's mouth. And then after that, after they turn their face against the fort of their own land, they're the ones that get thrown in. Them, their children, their wives, their concubines, everything and everybody. They get thrown into the fire because that's when they finally realize, holy shit, the king of kings of the world is actually on Robin's side. Shit. We are screwed. You know, that's how you guys are gonna... That's it. That's the only way that people's hearts are gonna change. It has to be somebody grounded in that is all for the Luciferian doctrine and killing the 144,000 and getting rid of them. And then everybody hopping back up on YouTube and just spewing lies for the rest of their time and just, you know... The mark of the beast system, everything. So the feeling of disappointment that they're going to feel is overwhelming. You got to watch out for some of them because they might commit suicide because they cannot rule the way that they thought they were going to. But that's the only way that it can happen is the person that's in charge of you that you thought was Satan, right, in the flesh, winds up being more like Christ in the flesh in the end. All the people that are saying that they can't wait for me to get rounded up and get killed, right? Why? Who am I to get killed? Why would you round me up and kill me? What's the point? I know what you guys are doing beforehand. That's more valuable in this world to be put in a position of government where I don't have to lie. And I can have the top seat because I don't have to lie. And on top of that, you can't get anything by me anymore because all the liars, I can see right through it. So it's time to start filtering out. Me and Justin will do a really good job of cleaning house because we're already cleaning house. Once the 20th comes around, 10-day look at the countenance of our faces and then deal with your servants accordingly afterwards. That's already clearing house. At least 450 spots are getting wiped out just by talking every day for 2 years on YouTube. I get that reward.